Is she going to be on the mic with us or no?
Yeah, I might as well.
Do you want me to? Okay, please don't feel pressure. I'm not offended in any capacity.
No.
So you're switching studios?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Studios. This is our normal one over here that we're normally in.
Oh, okay.
And I think the topic is, I think we're going back to last week's topic, which was predestination. This is like biblical, like aspect, like.
Okay.
Are we predestined to go heaven to hell or whatever?
Oh, I think I was listening. Was that the divinity one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I myself don't even believe in hell.
Okay.
I don't believe that to exist, but,
God,
but these guys are a little bit different. Oh yeah.
It's funny you get kind of like this massage and you're staying in the bro zone, but then you're like swimming in the deep end of the pool. Like it's a good juxtaposition.
Well, and here's the funny thing is what like your speech pattern, your articulation, your ability, your knowledge base, all that stuff is like phenomenal. And it seems like you're like running you're in the fast lane, whereas we're like in the slow lane. But we're guys, and a lot of times I think what happens is our I don't know if this is for every guy, but usually our speech is suppressed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like we don't really get to talk about our feelings and emotions and that stuff. So us guys at 45 learning how to really articulate how we feel inside.
I know I love there's so much research on like single men and mental health and like suicide rates are because if there's no community. Yes. Sorry,
and
short answer like you.
Yeah, so that's what I'm about.
If I talk, I do speak really fast, so I try and go slower.
We need a chair.
How's it going? I saw you in some of the other videos.
Brian.
I'm Kristen.
That's Kristen. B-Dog, what's up?
Your wife was calling in or something. They were giving you crap about.
She can come in?
Yeah.
Is that cool? She can come in?
Yeah.
Okay, brother. Dude, she is a live fucking wire, man.
I can't believe I missed.
Are you sure you guys want me?
Yeah, come on.
I don't even feel pressure. I'm
Okay,
either
this is my favorite seat right here.
This is beautiful. Where do you want me sitting?
You want to sit next to me?
Sure.
With Brock again?
Sure.
You
Look
push,
at this view.
push his
Yeah,
chair
it's
over.
gorgeous. Okay. That's why I sit here.
Power
Like,
here.
So you can see out?
Yeah.
Come on.
And I think that's why I read.
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, it's nice some air in here.
Yes.
But we need
Sorry
one more.
about
We need one more
the
chair.
time.
Okay.
Where are you, man? We missed you.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Brian, here, let's grab you another chair.
What is going on? Why do I not?
I hear your commercial.
Why can't I have power?
There's headphones.
That's
Brian,
Are those finicky in general?
There's a mic.
Yeah, right?
I've kind of heard that with GoPro. But I'm
Brian,
not
chair.
sure.
Let's go. So Brian can fit in right here.
We'll
let Brian in right here. Keith, you'll have to swing that side over.
Okay, I'll swing it over. Does she get my yellow one then? That's just right. Yeah.
Look how
I did
pro
this.
status you guys look. Like you're radio
We're
humans.
getting better.
I know, I can tell.
I do this because I did that with Brian last time.
This goes. Is that?
Let's all see
Is
it,
that right?
Charlie.
We got another headphones.
I just plugged this headphone in.
You good, B?
We need a.
Here, Brian. Charlie, can you hear us?
Yeah, Charlie.
Okay.
Because this is predestination.
Oh, that's weird.
What did you guys talk about last show?
Okay.
All the things, marketing, branding,
This thing
tequila a little bit.
Tequila?
I should have brought you guys. I would have brought some. You knew this. That's fine.
You want to donate?
I've got 30% on that one. I can't get down.
Can you not hear? Oh. Oh. Oh, gotcha.
I need more power.
How's everybody doing today? We're the Guys Perspective on KLZ 560 AM. You can always talk to the guys at 303-477-5600. I have to slow that down because callers will call in and be like, hey man, I can't understand what you're saying. So it's 303-477-5600. We have a guest in the studio with us for the Guys Perspective. So we'll let you introduce yourself first and then we'll go around the room.
Absolutely. My name is Kristen Olson. I'm a born and raised Colorado kid, local entrepreneur. longtime athlete, have 3 rescue pups, and a podcast called Turmeric and Tequila.
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
sweet. All right, Brian, let's start with you.
Well, I'm your #1 janitor. Your local janitor.
I'm Reno, a local business owner.
I'm Andre, local business owner too,
I'm Brock.
and Reno's competition.
It's true, man.
And this is Heath Hine, the actor in Colorado.
We just want to say, God bless everybody today. It's a beautiful day. Hope you can get outside and enjoy some of that sunlight. I was hoping we would have had some snow, man. Like, I really wanted to snow, but it's not happening. So we're going to talk about predestination again. We had so many people call and they want to know about it. So let's dive into it. And we're going to just start where we left off. Was Adam and Eve predestined?
Were they predestined?
To sin. To
Or,
fall.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's the lady who called. Like, I had to talk to her directly on the phone. She was like, I got a word for you guys. And I'm like, oh, man. Well, I don't know what it was, but she was like, hey, I'm going to tell you guys what's up. So, do you think life is predestined?
I mean, was the woman predestined to fall first?
Ooh, that's deep. That's
Yeah.
really deep.
Any take on that, Christian?
I was waiting for the hot seat. People know it's like 5 dudes and me, right? Okay. I'm in the jungle now. I'll caveat this. I am not a traditionally religious human. I'm very big on larger order, spirituality. I do think there is a bigger thing going on. The more I've tried to control life myself, I've learned that I say on my show, God, Universe, Madonna, I'm a huge Madonna fan, will check you. So I'm not going to say Eve was designed to go first. I mean, I feel like she was a little set up. But I would say, like, did the man write this story? Like, was it a female here? Like, I mean,
That's
who's the
funny,
author?
dude.
That's a good answer.
Bro, that's a good
Come on
point,
now.
what she just turned around and said.
And to answer
Did
your
God?
To answer your question, yes.
That's
right.
funny,
So
man.
that might be our first problem, but
So, I mean, you could look at it at a lot of different vantage points, but overall, the man was put there to protect. What was the snake talking to the man for, to his wife for in the first place?
Oh, he should have.
Oh,
He should have
okay.
took the hoe to that snake. Chop his head off.
like the water.
Where was
buffalo.
he at? I mean, if you think about it, where was Adam at the time this snake's
He was
talking
right
to his
next to
wife?
him.
That's
He was right
what
next
I
to him.
was saying.
No,
She-
no, bro.
No.
Yes.
She was holding the apple. She
Yes.
took a bite of it, and she
Was it an
saw
apple?
good and bad, good and evil, and she's like, Adam, hey, and just nudged him and handed him the apple. He was right there.
He's
It
right. The
wasn't
Bible
even an
does say
apple.
that.
He was right there.
Yeah, he says he was right there with his wife.
Mm.
So
But it wasn't an apple.
Oh yeah, a pear.
It was a pear? The whole time they didn't use the pear. Did the Apple industry coordinate this to like?
No, it
Why
just
don't
says
they
it's
say
a
a pear?
fruit.
Yeah,
right?
it just
It's
says
just
a fruit. Yeah.
Oh.
It just says a
Like-
fruit.
Right.
It
Okay.
didn't specify what fruit.
Okay.
I mean, because I've looked into that geologically, like, apples aren't even growing in where they think the Garden of Eden was at. So
Africa, right?
Yeah, in parts of Africa, but where it was strategically at, there was no apples growing. So, I mean, I'm not saying, like,
it's a forbidden.
things haven't changed,
So wait a minute.
but I mean,
So
it says
we
it's a
can-
fruit. It doesn't say it's an apple.
It
Wait
could be
a
a
minute.
persimmon. Yeah.
If Adam was right there while the snake was talking to Eve and tempting her with this fruit, what's wrong with him? Why would he allow some snake to go up and just talk to her?
Well, because it
That's-
was.
you're asking
I
a
know
good
why.
question.
I know why. It was Adam's apple.
Oh my god.
Go.
Here we go. I would say I'm here for animals. Eat the snake. You need protein. Why are we if you got a long journey ahead, you better get the protein gains and forget the simple carbs.
Yeah, I'm shocked
I
they didn't
agree.
look at it as, dinner for the night.
No,
Oh,
I-
God,
I-
God brought
Dude,
us
what
something to
isn't
eat.
dinner for you?
I mean, think about it, guys. Do you see a difference between free will and predestined? Like, I mean,
Oh yeah.
what do you guys think?
I mean,
do you
it's-
think,
it's a
do you
hard
think you
to
have a
check-
free will, or do you think you're already predestined?
So I got a question. So was Joe Biden, predestined, and Donald Trump predestined for this time,
Well,
or were to
I
change and do things with America?
I love what Andre's saying. He's saying that if it's predestined, then we have to accept that everything was.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Everything that we don't like was then predestined.
Or if it's, I know you're not religious, but God's will, for
Yeah.
instance, Is it in, you know, God's will that you married a crappy person, or you were a crappy person in marriage, or were you just doing something outside of God's will, and then God accommodated it, like, okay, I'll make it happen for you anyway.
See, I think a
You know?
lot. See, I disagree with that. Well, half and half. I think some things are predestined, and not all things are predestined. I think some things that you do in life are predestined for it to occur in your life, but then you have to have your choice and your will added to that. It has to be conjoined together. It can't be, you know, because you have free will.
Yeah.
So let's
Regardless of what you say, you have free will. So there's choices you make in life, and then predestined to whatever else.
So is salvation predestination? So
Yeah,
you're basically
I mean-
saying that, you know, what, like maybe, you know, a third of us are going to make it, and then, you know, the other are.
No, I'm saying some things are predestined and some things aren't predestined in your life, though.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
And people, listen, give us a call at 303-477-5600, because this is going to start to get deep.
Like, let me
then
get,
what-
can I give
then-
an inference? Can I give an inference?
Yeah.
Like, I knew a friend who was gonna get married, but his mom told him that he should not marry that woman. That he was gonna have a ton of problems, and he.
Oh,
didn't
that's
let-
my mom straight told me the same thing, bro.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go.
The same thing.
There you go.
Come
So
on.
that's your choice.
Come on.
So you had a bad life, right? You had bad consequences from that marriage, but God warned you prior not to marry this woman, and you went on and did it anyway.
And
Were
her
you
mama's-
predestined to have a bad marriage and no relationship with your kids, or was it your choice that you did that?
So
I can agree.
so I since because I know exactly what he's talking about. My mom sat there in the couch on our living room. She sat me down. I was 19. She's like, listen, and I'll tell you her exact words because they've always stayed with me. She's like, listen, I already got a call. So turned around and she was like, listen, you do not marry this woman, because at the end of you guys' marriage, she's going to give you so many problems.
Dang.
Well, when you're 19 years old, you're just like full of hormones. You're like, oh, you forget it. You can kiss my butt. I'm going to do whatever I want to do.
One of my favorite.
We got a caller.
Truth, what's going on,
Come
buddy?
on, Truth.
What's up, Truth?
Oh, that's deep. He
Oh,
just
sure.
changed our whole conversation, guys.
I agree with that.
Oh, so you agree with the truth?
Wouldn't your daddy teach you that?
Yeah.
That. Thanks, buddy, for calling, man.
So he's not
Right,
too far
right,
off, because he's
but-
been watching the Final Destination movies and the series and
yeah.
stuff, and
But-
it's inescapable. You can't get away from it.
But
That's
he
right.
he made a good point right there, right? When my mom sat me down, I was like young, ignorant to everything, but I learned lessons from that. What he just mentioned is it doesn't matter what you do in life, you're eventually going to die. I never thought about that. That's
Oh, yeah.
predestined.
Yeah, no one gets out
It
of
does
this
have that.
life alive.
God, that's crazy. Are we telling the truth with that, guys? Because doesn't the Bible say that there's going to be some people still here?
Oh yeah. You mean after our rapture?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's if you believe in a rapture.
that's.
Well, you can get into the science side of that as well. You know, there's water on Mars, or like something survives and stays on it. Like, you have to have single-celled organisms, and I don't know which way you want to go on this, but scientifically, perhaps,
Yeah.
any which way.
See, and I always go to the point, like, you know, a single cell organism is complex in itself.
Yeah.
So how in the world was that created without?
Well, to bring us back to the beginning, is where I would agree. Like, not necessarily identifying with a story that was perhaps lost in
Sure.
translation. We don't know what fruit it is. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying it's gone through a lot of like telephones and ears to different interpretations. But alongside the free will and is it predestined, I think you have things coming through and then you have to show up and make a choice. Was something larger going on initially in Adam and Eve and the apple, or fruit of whatever it was there. Sure, was it maybe exactly that storyline? We don't really know. But did something larger create us or start the fire essentially, or start the show?
Well,
Something did.
You know, truly, like I do believe in the Adam and Eve story, but I also believe in a pre-Adamic age.
Yeah.
But there's, you know, a world that existed prior to Adam. So what you got to ask the question, what happened to that age of Adam? You know, because obviously, you know, you can look at dinosaurs, etc. They're there. You know, we have concrete evidence that they're billions of years old. You know, if you believe in the radio dating, or carbon dating. I'm sorry. But with that said, you know, I'm one of those that definitely believe that we have a spiritual side, and I think you do too, right?
Yeah.
From listening to you.
Yeah.
The spiritual, you know, physical, etc. And as far as destiny goes, is it not something that you create on your own? I mean,
Yeah. Well, I struggle with this on my show because most of my female counterparts were into energy and woo or religion or something, and then some of my
And
guys
Madonna.
and Madonna.
Well, you like
obviously.
I used to like her until she got old and started.
Oh, well, now it's an age thing. All right, you're starting a whole other conversation now.
Talking about the same
Like
Madonna?
a prayer. Well, you know, she evolves.
All right.
I would say it's energy is physics. So if you can go
Indeed.
science or we can go woo. If you want to go to measurables, there's tons of research now that shows like how you talk to yourself can facilitate energy within your body and how
Now
that
check
relates to
this
your
out.
brain.
Now you can go to a biblical, you know, aspect that basically says, as a man thinks, or how does it go about speaking?
As a man thinketh, so he is.
So he is.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
other one is the life and death are in the tongue, and
Tongue.
those that love it eat its fruit. So we
Amen.
can say good or bad things, and
Right.
that manifests into good or bad
So
things.
that's an amazing, you know, parallel with science. You know how you could really look at the piece of science and say, you know what, science validates, you know, a Bible, or vice versa. Bible
Absolutely.
can validate science. I've always wondered where the disconnect came from, you know, but
The two sides wanting you to believe one or the other. Like that's
Yeah.
where I think it's
And
just
why
like
does it have to be
Democrat,
either or?
Republican. Well, turmeric and tequila, welcome to my show. It's seemingly opposing things can harmoniously coexist.
Yes.
And oftentimes they already did. Like we're the ones, the humans make it complicated. The branding marketing professionals that have to label or sell you on which way. There's always crossover. It's never really either or.
kind of yin yang, right?
Yeah,
you almost
absolutely.
have to have that balance of
Yin
good and
yang.
evil. Or
Have any of you guys watched Hedwig and the Angry Inch?
I know of it.
man, you are.
All right, it was a crazy one.
This
It
guy
was a
has
crazy
so
show,
many
man.
movies.
Yeah, but it's talking about like it's hermaphrodite. Obviously, I know that's not politically correct any longer, but that's what
Cut
that
it
show.
early.
But that's what that movie was about. But really, kind of what was cool is toward the end, it was showing that it is kind of yin yang. We're two parts of one half. Like I'm incomplete without my wife. My wife helps to complete me.
Yeah.
She helps me to give to be a perspective that I myself can't align with or attain.
So you're not
And-
complete without your wife? So
She-
what if your
she
wife
makes me
leaves,
better.
then you're incomplete because she's gone?
She makes me better, and I make her better.
Just like your mom does.
And
Your mom
people
makes
give us a call at
Your mom makes you
303.
better.
Call us at 303-477-5600. Like, I believe, like Brian said, predestined and free will kind of go hand in hand. Because, for example, if you look at Judas Iscariot, was he really predestined to betray?
And I've looked that up a little bit, and I don't, you know,
We're
the
about to
Bible-
get deep,
The Bible
guys,
doesn't
like-
really
like-
say address Judas. Well, it kind of does, but it doesn't. It says that, you know, Jesus knew that one of them was going to betray him, but you know, then depending on what author you listen to,
Because, I mean,
eventually they named Judas.
because, I mean,
But
Did he have a choice to repent?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
too?
that's deep.
No, I don't
That's
think he had.
deep.
See, I don't
believe
think
he
he had a
did.
choice to repent because he said it was better that you.
well, what
You know,
could,
tie
So,
up.
so then that's
Well, what
full.
about
That's
John?
full predestination on one person's life
Right.
at that point, if he can.
that would suck. Like, what about Adolf Hitler, for instance?
That's
Was
another
Adolf Hitler
thing.
predestined to, you know?
Well, that's the thing is like back to what we started with the show is if you believe in predestined, then you have to believe it for good and bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You
And-
know,
and there's a-
like
there's a
I was
Genghis Khan.
I was predestined to at that point I was predestined to be in a marriage that prepared me for the marriage I'm in.
Hey,
Mm.
Yeah.
I believe that for sure.
But I mean, if you're predestined not to make it, why live life? Like, why go on? If you're predestined that
Why
you're
do
gonna
anything?
fall, why
Yeah.
continue to live?
Because you have no clue that you're predestined.
Never try, never
Oh.
fail.
What
That
do
is
we know?
deep.
Because you have no clue you're predestined.
No, I mean that's deep what he just said because you don't know. I like I really believe America was predestined, put here on this planet to protect us from all the other bad crap on this planet. Because without America, there'd be some bad stuff happening, man.
Well, and that could be why, like, what, 30% of the Bible is prophecy. And if you believe in that, then a lot of people believe that America is listed in the Bible, in the book of Revelations, and even in Daniel. But I always think about what Heath said, about the movie Final Destination, where no matter, especially the last one, remember, basically where no matter what they tried to do, they could not evade death, and they even tried to hide from death, right?
Yeah.
But eventually it did come knocking at their door, and then everything that was supposed to happen finally unfolded, and the destiny happened. Maybe we as life forms are ducking when death comes, or
Well,
you know
isn't
what I
that
mean?
kind of depressing though? Like thinking we have no control whatsoever. I'm like, why am I working out? What am I? What am I like, why am I eating healthy? Like, let's just go drink a fifth and get ripped in like two.
That's the reason I'm
stuff,
saying I
right?
have to agree with Brian. I think it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I do believe that certain things are predestined. Like, I believe America was predestined to be here because, like we've talked about on the show, guys, if America wasn't, and thank you for all our veterans, if you were in the military, we tip our hat to you, because if it wasn't for America, there would be some countries out there that would be just doing some crazy crap.
Well, if you believe in predestination, could you do something that moves the hand of God to change his mind from your predestined date to die?
There you
That's
go.
So, like,
There's an
I mean,
example.
if you make a choice to go in and rob somebody, let's say you're predestined to die later in your life, but you choose to go and rob somebody's house, you're putting your hands in somebody else's life. They maybe they're carrying a gun inside that home, and then they shoot you and kill you. Your predestination date might have changed for all you know.
Wow, that's deep.
You believe in that?
That's really, really deep
That
what
actually
you just
is,
said.
yeah.
I mean,
It's that
think
ripple in
about
the
that.
pond.
I mean, honestly, like, you think about Hitler. You brought him up, and people listen. If you know more than us, call it 303-477-5600. Hitler.
I say Kanye West needs to call in. I feel like he's the one that has all the answers.
I mean, but if you think about Hitler, like what he said, I mean, Hitler was a crazy guy. I mean, he had an agenda, and that was to take over the world. And could it possibly have been that? Was he predestined to?
Now check this out. Have you heard about the new controversy where Hitler was basically, I don't know, I don't want to be off by anything, but hey, have you heard about what he was saying and what he was warning the German people of?
No,
You
what?
gotta tell
No,
us.
he was trying to mass genocide. Wasn't
I've
Hitler?
heard so many people say this, that he was warning against, and forgive me, man, don't hate on me, but he was warning against the Jewish people, supposedly. This is the new conspiracy that's coming out, and it's
He
kinda
was warring
scary.
against Jews.
He was.
He was mass genocide on Jews, dude. He
Absolutely.
tried wrangling up his dude. I did a whole study in college on this. That guy was ruthless when it came to Jews,
Yeah.
gypsies. If you were a
Russians.
homosexual, anything like that, this dude put you in a concentration camp and ended you. So maybe it wasn't his hand, his physical hand, that touched you, but he controlled his whole entire military. And was that predestined? And here's the question I'm going to ask. When the Jews stood there and saw Jesus, they were going to release Barabbas. They said, give us Jesus. Give us Barabbas. Were they speaking of a future thing? Were they condemning their own selves?
Wow.
And they did say something like
They
that.
did. They
They
spoke
actually
that
said-
over themselves.
Yeah, they did.
So were they speaking their own
But
devastation into existence?
In that story of the Bible, then they were saying, "Let His blood be upon us."
Yes.
And they were asking for Jesus Barabbas, a known murderer, to be released in lieu of Jesus. But obviously,
But you see
God
what I'm
was-
saying? Were they
Jesus was destined.
predestining their fall by the hand of Hitler?
No, see, I would say no. I would say by that point, at that time, it was already into motion. What God had.
Was in motion?
Yeah, it was already into motion. What
Hold
God had.
on.
No,
But there's
no.
power in words, because you
Yeah,
can
but it
speak
was already
something.
in
You can
motion.
speak something over somebody's life that can turn their whole trajectory from good to bad or bad to good.
even
But God's
me-
salvation plan was already into motion at that point. Whenever they said, "Give us Jesus," said Barabbas, he was already born. So his whole identity was, taking place.
So you don't think when they made that comment that they were speaking judgment over their future kids?
No, God's salvation plan was in motion.
Okay.
At that
Okay.
moment.
What do you guys think?
Well, I think timing is a big major X factor. Like, a lot was going wrong for this to facilitate at the exact time, and for him to take a leadership role. Like, a lot had to, like, almost kind of like our leadership. Like, a lot to get elected president, a lot has to go right, and a lot for the opposites have
Yeah,
to go
that's
wrong.
for
Like
sure.
there's a lot of things that you can't control, market, predict, strategically move. That just the timing of where we're at in general has to align. I don't know that he would have come to the leadership role that he had it not been the time that it was, very generally speaking.
I get what you're saying too, because
Yeah,
really,
no, yeah,
really
for sure.
that generation created Hitler
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of all the, with the United Nations or the League of Nations back in the day, they basically stripped away all the German
It was
power.
a perfect storm.
It really was,
Yeah.
for someone charismatic like Hitler to come in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Arena.
So I'm asking this because I don't know. What did he have against the Jews? What was wrong with the Jews in
He,
his
bel
eyes?
he
That's a good
believed that
question.
they were basically killers of Jesus. But truly speaking, though, can you really believe that? Because if you read a book by Albert Spears, he actually wanted to adopt the Mohammedan religion, but he utilized the Catholic religion because he knew that people utilized the Catholics because Catholic introduced both faith and church and
Political.
Politics.
So
Politics
then
and religion.
all he did was he repeated what happened with Constantine and
Pretty much.
era where there was a merger of religion and politics.
Absolutely. He knew the value of the two.
Bringing in all of the secular ideals and ideology, Easter
Constantine.
and Christian. Yeah, Constantine.
Well, can we also caveat that mental health was a question here?
Oh yeah, I was just
Yeah,
going to bring that up. No, no,
Yeah,
she's absolutely right
let's-
on that.
So just because you have ego and power doesn't mean you know things. I'm not arguing if it did or didn't happen or what was said. I'm just saying, like, he had syphilis, he had mental health questions. Like, this still wasn't a grounded, well, human in general. So outside of his beliefs and words, like, let's just say in the open, like, this is not a well person.
But what's kind of scary is he had a whole country
Well,
that followed him. And in fact,
look at us now. I mean, I don't know who you vote for, and I don't care
Sure,
for frankly, but I'm just
absolutely.
saying, either side, you can think either one is crazy. And honestly, they
Sure.
probably both are in some capacity because you got to sell your soul to get to that spot.
Mm.
We'll say the
Wow,
whole
that
other
was
combo,
deep.
but
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
it is.
No,
Like,
no, yeah.
any position of power, you're going to make compromises along the way. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying there is space for it, and usually someone behind you has a larger agenda, so you're the figurehead of things. I'm not even saying that's this.
Well, I hope I'm not
he's
a bad person because I
Man.
voted for Trump and I'm a Republican.
Hey, I hope I'm not a bad person because when I make millions, I want to.
Yeah,
No, but she's making a good point. Like mental illness, if you were to go, because in my eyes, people, I believe Hitler was the most wicked person on this planet.
Oh, yeah,
and if
for sure.
you were to go back and really look at that dude as a kid, he had some deep-rooted hatred.
So would you
towards
assassinate
people.
him as a kid if you could have the proverbial?
You know what?
time
You're
machine?
you're asking a good question. If I could go back, because I've thought about this question. If I could go back in time
Yeah.
and off Hitler off, I would have.
But would that
Wow.
have changed the direction? And that goes back to predestination. Basically, if Adolf
That's
didn't
deep.
make it,
That
would it
is
be like some
so
other dude
deep.
like Heinrich
Yeah.
or something?
Hey,
he
what
would
call
do?
us at
Take out-
303-477-5600.
What about ill decisions in your own life? Like, what if you changed that one thing that was a pivot point in your life that you're
Wow.
like, would I change? I wouldn't, because I mean, where do you learn your stuff? Like, you wouldn't be sitting here with intel you
Oh.
have if you changed any
Oh,
piece
I-
of garbage in your life. Like,
Man, I
You
would
would
hot
be
tub
who you
time
are.
machine it on my
Hell yeah,
marriage.
that-
So let's go
Yeah.
around the room. Would you change something pivotal in your life?
Yeah, that water buffalo incident.
Okay.
Your wife is a shiny star there, though.
That's true.
can't do
You,
that.
would you change something pivotal?
I wouldn't. No, and I couldn't. There's no way.
You wouldn't?
No.
I would. I
Okay.
would. I would have listened to my mom. Sure, I wouldn't have my kids today. Love them to death.
Do
love
you
my
know
kids.
that,
But well,
you
no,
know
I
that?
don't know that.
Yeah,
But I would
you
change
don't.
that. What would
That
you
was a
change?
pivotal-
Oh, dude, like I said, I would hot tub time machine it. You know the movie?
Dude,
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
yes.
Yeah. I
Wait, is that
totally-
to go back and party?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we
that's
got
right.
knowledge base
Heck
about.
yeah.
All right.
I'd have like instead of Google, it'd be like Draggle or something like that, or
What would you change? Would you even change anything?
I don't know, because if you change something, then you're not you.
God, that
You might not be
you
sitting
guys-
here right now. Like,
Yeah,
one little thing changes everything.
Like, would I survive a change?
Mm.
Would I
Ooh,
change
good
something?
question.
that
I guess
create
he's
my
asking a
death?
good
yeah,
question.
you got it.
So I don't know if it's worth even contemplating the change, because you wouldn't be who you are today.
Yeah,
Right.
he makes a great point,
That
because you
is a
never know
great
the
point.
changes that you make, you know, the lessons that you learn in your life from those changes.
Yeah.
So then, sometimes some people want to make change in your life. Don't. just stay the course, people.
Yeah, like I would
You're
have
gonna
loved
make
to.
it through, and it's gonna work out for you.
I would have loved to change to stay in school. I would have loved to change to, but I never had a father.
God, and we'll
But
talk
what-
about this one
because I
another
never
time,
had a father.
Because now we're getting deep. Is it ever too late to
Exactly.
change?
I mean, think about it.
That and people give us a call on the other side. This guy's perspective at 303-477-5600. Andre.
I think if you're gonna never try, then you'll never fail, right? I joke around, but you're not. It's not done for any of us. I can go back to school at any time, but is there value in it? Just curious. Has school benefited like Elon Musk, like Bill Gates? All these people.
It depends on what you want to do.
Yeah.
What you wanna
That's
do.
true, because some schooling you have to go to school to do it, and we'll talk to y'all on the other side. Thank you so much. God, man, that's
Where's our
gonna
caller
get
at?
deep, dude. Oh, dude, now it's who brought that up?
What's
What?
up?
Like, could you change if you wanted to change something?
I think
you
you
could
brought
change
that
it.
up.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's in line with the predestination.